Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's show. I guess I'm super excited, and I think I'll first of all say Happy New Year. Before I start, I'll basically give it more time for everyone to join. Happy New Year! Thank you for tuning, and thank you for joining in today's session. I think before I start, it would be lovely to do a little bit of reflection. Reflection basically is to talk about, the general videos which I've done in the past, videos that covers study abroad opportunities, videos that focus or that would help you focus on what you need to put in place when you're looking for study abroad. Last year I talked about preparing yourself, financial plans. I talked about job opportunities as well, and those rules you need to know about if you're looking to study or if you have families who are looking to study. So I haven't started yet. I think I'll just create this time for you to please like Pure Empowerment with Yeti, share. Don't be the only one listening to me right now because this information might be useful to any of your families or any of your loved ones who are thinking to have the next level in their academics or in their study abroad plans or probably in their skilled worker opportunities. So last year, I also talked about different ways in which people can seek opportunities. When I mean opportunities, I'm talking not just only study abroad. I'm also talking about those who are professionals, probably healthcare professionals, or if you're an IT personnel and you're looking to, change your environment, experience the international experience itself. You have to look at this video, watch my previous video. All you need to do is go to Pure Empowerment with Yeti and you see the past videos which I have done. And if you have any questions, of course, I do encourage you to please go on the chat section, pop in your question. It will come out here live and I will read them out and answer them. I do say something, which is something that's always helped me all through my life, is what they call a closed mouth is a closed destiny. If you have something bothering you and you feel that you need somebody to talk about it or you need someone to explain to you or put you through, you know, anyone who asks questions don't always miss the way or the road. So they say in my personal dialect in Yoruba. And I'm sure, in other places, it's always like that. If you are not sure about something, the best thing you can do to have the hands-on information is to ask questions. Ask questions to people. Ask them, about what you think you want to know. Ask people about the road. Ask people about the study abroad, or you have issues with documents, you're not sure of it. That is why you have agents around you. That's why you have university representative around you to support you. Now let's go back to the topic of today. The topic of today focus on your mindset. Now, your mindset. Before I kickstart properly, please, I do encourage you, if you're watching me right now, or you're going to watch me later on after this live show is ended, please share, like, and remember to subscribe to Peel Empowerment with Yeti. Just to remind you once more again, this channel is not created for the fun of it. It is created to help people, to be a platform to support each other, share general information about study abroad and opportunities out of your comfort zone. So, and that is the reason why I do encourage everyone, please share, share, share. Share on Facebook, share on YouTube, share on WhatsApp, share on TikTok, share on any platform you think you can get people who need the information. And of course, remember, you need to put your questions on the chat so that both of us can actually share ideas, both of us can actually, look at this possibility or things you think are kind of a doubt to you and you don't have clarity on study abroad. Now, let's move forward. We're talking about what you need to do. How do you prepare your mind on study abroad? Don't forget, you don't only go abroad for studying alone. There are other medium, there are other reason why people study abroad. I mean, you all know about the whole jackpot thing. Now, one thing I tell people is not about jackpot. It is about what plans do you have? What is the major reason? I do tell people, I have a lot of people who consult me because, of course, being an educational consultant and also being a person who oversees the African region and also the Pakistan region. I've had the privilege of overseeing some other regions, and I've had the privilege of meeting wonderful people, wonderful students who, have actually had that thought of going abroad. But upon asking them the question of why they want to go abroad to study, most of them don't know the reason why they want to study. Some people want to change an environment because they feel their current environment is not comfortable enough for them. Some people also want to change environment because they feel they just want to move. Why some people actually have a major reason of moving and changing because they need a step ahead in their career opportunity. They need a step ahead in their academics. They need a step ahead in their life. Some want to do study abroad because they want to get promotion at work. Some want to study abroad because they want to change field and they feel the personal or the new location will be a great avenue for them, to move ahead or to change profession. Now, let's move on. Your mindset. What do you need to put in place to have a good mindset? I call one thing CDPR. Yes, it's not the same as GDPR, it's CDPR. The first one is confidence. Now, what is the importance of you being confident? When I ask you what is confidence, I'm sure viewers who are watching me, whether you're watching me through YouTube, probably you're watching me online, probably you're watching me through different means, you will have every reason or you have different definition of confidence. Now, you being confident now is not just, what can I say? Not just you being able to talk anywhere or you being able to say anything anywhere. Being confident is you having that peace within you, you having that rest within you, you having that mindset that things are actually getting better. Do you get me? Or you have that confidence that whatever you're doing, even if it seems negative or it seems like things are not working well, you have that assurance within you that it's going to work well and you have everything in place. When I mean everything in place, I mean preparation, preparation not just in terms of documents, but preparation in terms of finance or preparation in terms of what can I say, equipment. When I mean equipment, it doesn't really mean like your tools to work. Equipment in terms of, do I have my computers? Do I need something I need to put in internet at home regular? Do I need to go to a cafe? Do I need a personal maybe agent or somebody that could help me? Do I need to get in touch with the university staff? So those are the things you need to put in place. Now, before I progress in talking more on confidence, the question is, why are you the only one watching me right now? You shouldn't be the only one. Please share, like. Don't just like alone. Subscribe so that you can get more information from people. Like, share, subscribe so that you can get more information from people. And if you can't hear me, please, because I've been receiving some messages, people say they can't hear me louder. Please ensure you're able to hear me. You might just want to check your speakers or check your equipment. Probably there's something wrong with your volume. You should be able to hear me directly. So if you can't hear me, you can WhatsApp me. I do encourage you, please don't WhatsApp me directly. Just put your WhatsApp on the live chat, then I'll be able to answer any question you want to answer. I will try my possible best to, direct my show, my talks on YouTube, and I will try my possible best to pick those questions from the WhatsApp chat or from Facebook, wherever you send me to. So please do confirm if you're able to hear me well. For those who are messaging me on WhatsApp that they can't hear me, please put your question on the live chat on YouTube that I'll be able to answer you. So now let's talk about confidence. Now, confidence is very, very important in anything you do. I'm not here to preach about confidence. I do say it all the time. I'm not an inspirational speaker, but I'm here to support people in the little way I can through my channel. This channel is, of course, is powered by Pure Empowerment CIC, registered here in UK. And of course, we do a lot of community development project, or I personally, I run it, and I do have some people beside me who help me if I want to do community development project outside the country. And in here is about empowering people who are looking to think, or who are thinking about the next level. So now, confidence. Now, what do you need to do about confidence? How do you need to put yourself confident, or how can I say, how can you make yourself confident in your study abroad opportunity? There are many things you need to know. When you begin to have a negative mindset, first of all, you're thinking of, I want to study abroad, and you begin to have this negative mindset, it won't work. You need to have that positive mindset. So now the positive mindset can come in different form. The positive mindset could be, do I have the possibility or the positivity that this is going to work for me? First one. Secondly, when you get to the stage of discussing or communicating with agents or communicating with university staff, there is a need for you as the students, or maybe you're communicating with your future employer in the UK via email or via phone calls. It is very important for you to be very, very confident. I will tell you an example. Personally, working with students I've worked with students from different countries, worked with students from all over Africa, I've worked with students from Asia. And my personal experience from students who haven't studied abroad is because of the mindset and the mentality we have back home. The mentality that you have to get scared of who you think is above you. The mentality of, oh, I need to be scared of my lecturers. The mentality of, I don't want to say anything that is wrong so that they don't feel like I'm moving too fast or I'm moving too slow. Those kind of mentality. I do tell my students, I do tell future students, you need to work on those things and you need to put those things aside. There is one thing powerful about you being confident of knowing what you want, talking directly on what you want, being direct and not too direct, and also in the same time being diplomatic. As somebody who is looking for something, you need to be also, I would say respectful. I would just say being polite. For my experience with students, when students want to make inquiries about study abroad, or maybe they want to look for opportunities, about work opportunities, you see some of them even having their voice actually is not really clear over the phone. Sometimes when they write emails are not being clear because they are used to, please, I want to study. Let me take an example. Let's say we have a student who wants to study, let's say MSc management course, right? And then you've not known me before, or maybe you've not known any university staff before, and then you want to send an email. Sending emails, an example like, hi, my name is, let's say, George. I am looking to study abroad. I don't know what to do. I finished, and conversation. That shows that you're not confident as a student. Now, you need to think about this. This is what I tell my students. This is what I tell them. You don't even know who you're communicating with. There could be possibility that the person which you are communicating with could even be your age mate. It could be that the person you are even communicating with can even be lower than, younger than you in age. You'll be surprised that you are even going for a master's degree. The person that you are even communicating with might even have an HND. Now, the question is, why do you have to fear? Why do you have to fear? Why do you have to get scared when you are trying to put your message across to your agents, or you're trying to put your message across to your staff? And there's one thing that is actually very funny, which I've experienced severally, not just in African students. Now, when I mean Africa, I don't mean only Nigeria. I also mean students from Ghana, from Kenya, from Zimbabwe, Zambia, Uganda, Mauritius, wherever you've come from. There is this power in confidence. Now, I'll tell you an example. I've had a conversation when with students before in the past, and a student called me over the phone, and it was more or less like, hello, ma, and it was a lot of, you could sense that fear in the students. And there was one question I asked the students, what exactly do you want? How may I be of help? I noticed there's a lot of fear as you're talking. What I had to do was to calm the student down and say, okay, I know you want to study abroad, but you still need to pass your message across to me because I'm human. I'm not a lion. I won't bite you. The only thing I can tell you is there's no opportunity here because the course is closed, or there's no opportunity here because this course is filled up. And this does not only applies to study abroad, it also applies to work abroad. We have an issue, especially with students who have come from this developing country, not only developing country, even some countries which are actually highly developed. You see students coming in who are not used to being confident, who are not used to be very, very clear in their means of communication, whether email or whether verbal or vocal. Now, other people which you need to be very clear of, you're looking for study abroad, be very clear when you're communicating in your email with agents or with university staff. When I mean being clear, I mean go straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush. What do you want? I want to study abroad, and I need to know what documents I will be, I would need to submit. Or probably you have already had a conversation with the staff and you are struggling. And you are struggling with putting things in place. When I mean struggling, I'm talking out of personal experience. Personal experience working with thousands of students. We've had situation whereby students, let's say for instance, in Nigeria, we have some students who are used to this la cram la poor thing, la poor la forget. I call that way. You're used to a system whereby, you know, you're used to a system whereby your lecturer will tell you, give me what I've given you. So this la cram la poor, we don't have any, full understanding about plagiarism, which can affect us when we are writing our personal statements or when we are trying to write our cover letter. And that's why most students get caught. And if you don't know now, I want you to know. As a university or some university or most university actually would know students when you go online. When you go online to copy personal statements, cover letter, we know. When you go online to copy people's things, we know because we have software we can use to check all those things. And this is what I advise my students. If you're trying to write a personal statement, you're not sure of it, there are many things you could do. What do you need to do? Have a conversation with your agents. Each university will definitely have agents that work with them. If you don't have access to agents and you're not confident to work with agents, what about the university staff? Now, let's imagine you don't even have access to those two people. University staff, you don't have access to agents. What do you need to put in place? First of all, go online, go on Google, check examples of personal statements, examples of cover letter, examples of CV that are needed for study abroad. When you see those examples, read them. Now, look at your own, reflect on your own experience. What experience do I have? How can I put this thing into writing clearly and precisely? And then you put in your own experience. You can use the same format, but please don't forget plagiarism is like a whole sin. I mean, plagiarism is like stealing people's work. When I mean plagiarism, for those who don't understand what I'm saying by plagiarism, plagiarism is going online, copying people's work, and claiming it's your own work. In the UK, in Australia, outside the country, most especially in the Western world, is like stealing. It's like stealing a car. You could get, expelled from school for plagiarism, depending on the level of plagiarism. Now, you can copy people's work if only if you are referencing them, and that comes in the point of essays, and that's like a topic of another day. So let me just move on to the confidence I'm talking about, and I will not deviate. Now, when I talk about confidence, don't forget earlier I mentioned about mindset. Your mindset, you need to build the positivity. Once you have it in your mind that, okay, I don't have the money now, but I want to plan in the next 2-3 years to study abroad, or I want to plan to apply directly to a job abroad. Then once the positivity is there, things begin to fall in place for you. That will give you the confidence to speak to somebody, either an agent or university staff or an employer. Now, I've talked about study abroad. Let me move on to work abroad. We all do know that there are some jobs that are professional jobs that people can actually get jobs directly, employment directly from your home country. When I mean employment, I mean jobs like medical lab sciences, physiotherapy, nursing, radiography, IT. Those, of course, are professional courses in which if you have the right accreditation or course which is accredited by your right professional body, or you have like professional certification, that's a straight plus for you. And we do have some people who want to do care jobs. Of course, we all know the whole thing is going around the UK now about care opportunities for those who want to work in care homes, or you want to work as a healthcare assistant. The UK as well is calling a lot of people who want to work in that field, and they support you. When I mean support, you do your visa application, but first of all, you need to get a job with a credible employer in the UK, and you apply for your visa, and your IHS is removed for you because you're coming to the health sector. We all know about those ones. But for you to get an employer, you need to go online and do that research yourself. You need to get that confidence to go online. And when you get that confidence to go online, you apply. And let's say you want to make a call, you just want to have a phone verbal conversation. That confidence needs to be in you to make that proper conversation. Because if you can't even make that, what is the guarantee that when you come to do the work or you come to study, you would have that confidence, or you have that verbal stability, or you have that mindset to talk with your patient or talk with people online or talk at the place of your job. So that's it. Confidence is very important. So now let's move on to documents. I'm not switching to study abroad. It's highly important, highly, highly important to prepare. And these are the things I talk about when I come online. If you remember all my past videos, if you've watched me in the past, or if you've listened to my previous videos, you will see that I like stressing on preparation. There is nothing as important as preparation. Because if you have a mindset of putting something in place, if you are not prepared for that opportunity, then that opportunity wouldn't come. Even if you are not prepared and the opportunity come, you might actually miss it. So what am I saying? I'm saying is you need to be prepared for the opportunity. How do you prepare? Now, let's pick it step by step. I'll talk about the study abroad. I'll talk about those who need to be prepared in terms of skilled worker. I'll talk about those who need to prepare being a dependent. Now, how do you need to prepare if you're coming to study abroad? A lot of things. Being able to put your documents in place. Don't forget, I told you, as a student, you're looking to apply for either a master's, undergrad, or PhD, you definitely need the personal statement. You need a cover letter. If you don't have the confidence of writing that, check online. Don't copy and paste. Use your own words. Use your own experience. Then be confident enough to ask people for help. For instance, I have a lot of students who will contact me and say, Yetunde, I'm writing my personal statement, but I know how to write it, but I'm not too sure if I'm on the right track. Now, I wouldn't help you to write it as a staff, as an higher education staff, or as an education consultant. I wouldn't help you to write it, but I can guide you and give you tips of what you need to know. Now, it's not left for you as a student coming to the university to pick those examples online or probably verbally, or those guidance you need to form something reasonable to submit for your application. And of course, we do have lots of agents. For instance, I work with the University of Lincoln. We do have lots of agents that support students, that will help you or guide you, not help you write the personal statement or the CV, but will guide you on the tips which you need to know. Now, another thing you need to do if you're looking to put in your documents in place is not just asking questions, but also ensure that you are organized. How organized are you? This is something that is actually, is a common thing I've seen in African students, not only African, Asian students, because we've come from a place whereby shortcut works. You want to go to a long distance route, you feel that the shortcut is the easier place to go. And these are the things that affect a lot of students. I'll tell you an example of shortcuts. Some people are not organized. You want to study abroad, you don't have your international passport, and you're thinking to travel abroad. Think about it. If I have to travel abroad, do I need a passport to travel? Yes, you do. And I do have people who ask me, I want to do my study abroad, but I don't have my international passport. Do I need an international passport to apply? But yes, you do. I mean, your employer, your university, who is going to sponsor you, definitely will request if you have an ID. Your international passport is not just like a paper for you to travel, but it's your national identity that shows that you are domiciled in a place or you are from a particular place. That is the importance of your international passport. But most people don't know this. So you need to be organized. Studying abroad, what do you need to put in place? Your international passport is very, very important. Of course, your transcripts. How do you apply to for a course in a university? You don't even have your certificate in place, or you don't even have your transcript in place. Ouch. It doesn't sound right, right? So you need to put everything in place. Let me tell an example. It's just like you're preparing to give birth to a child and you're planning to go to the hospital. Now, planning to go to the hospital, you don't even have your baby things in place. I mean, you don't have anything in place. How do you give birth? I mean, how do you give the doctors the information? How do you give them the shots, the things you need to put to have that child come out safe? So, preparation and being organized is very, very important. Now, when I mean being organized is checking your documents. Are they right? Checking your documents, are there mistakes on my name? Checking your documents, is there mistake on my date of birth? Now, I will tell you the importance. I know back in Nigeria or in Ghana or in Kenya, you might be able to work your way around, right? Or maybe in Pakistan, or maybe you're messaging from Moldova, or you're messaging from Mauritius, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and you want to apply, and there's a mistake in your name. And they say, oh, you just one letter is fine, you can pass ahead. And then you scale through. But I can tell you, when you get to the stage of traveling outside the country, you might not be able to escape that. Number one, because your name is also your identity. Let's take an example. One person can be bearing James George, right? Another person can be bearing James George, because in the whole and in the entire world, you are not the only one bearing James George. So you need to get your name right. Why you need to get your name right? You still need to get your date of birth right. You see what I mean? Now, let's move that away from being organized. Consistency. You need to be very consistent. And being consistent also enters the part of you being organized. How? Now, let's take an example. We've had lots of students, a lot of inquiries who will come and say, Yetunde, I want to, okay, I've applied for a job and now I've gotten the job abroad and I'm looking to apply for my skilled worker visa. Because I personally am experienced in the field. And then someone would tell, the question I ask them is, do you have your documents in place? Yes, I do. Okay. Can I see them for instance? You see one document, let's say the international passport. You see one person bearing James George Okwe. On their employers, the name they give their employer is James George Okweyemi. I can 100% guarantee you or assure you or even tell you that that person is not termed as the same. You can't be Okwe in one document and be Okweyemi in another document and be Oluwa Okweyemi in another document. Now, what am I trying to stress on? What I'm trying to stress to you is that there is power in consistency. Not being consistent can actually make you lose your visa. Not being consistent can actually make you lose opportunity. I've had situations whereby students' CASs. CAS is a letter you use for visa application, are being cancelled because they are not consistent. And why not be consistent? They don't even have any remedy to correct that inconsistency. So you need to bear in mind that your document needs to be set, organized. In fact, if you're watching me right now, you're in Africa, you're in Asia, you're outside, you're in your own country, you're looking to study abroad, and you don't even have consistency in your document, please, the right time is now. Go and change. Or you have a student bearing Malaika in one document, and in one document you're bearing Malik. In one document you're bearing Malikachi. I mean, come on, let's be factual, let's be real. Those names are not the same. So the power of being consistent is very important. And I can tell you, it's not only being consistent in your document. Even as a person, are you consistent in what you want? I do have a little friend, which is a bit younger than me. I do tell them, she's the kind of person that she likes to do everything. Like, you want to be the DJ, you want to be a model, you want to be a seller, you want to be a this, you want to be that. By the time you want to be everything, trust me, in life, you'll be very confused. But once you're consistent in what you want, if you want to be a DJ, good, fine. Follow the track. Learn everything that a DJ needs to know. If you want to be an engineer, an IT engineer, maybe who is actually want to be an expert in Java, then focus on that line. Go for it. Focus on Java, focus on IT. You can't be the shoemaker, be the carpenter, be the doctor, and be this at the same time. Well, you might have the knowledge, but trust me, you can't be a master in all. You end up being a jack of all trade and master in none. So let's move on. What else do you need to put in mind? Positivity. Now, it all goes beyond, I have the finance to study abroad. It all goes beyond, well, my uncle is going to sponsor me. It all goes beyond, well, my agent is going to make it happen. What about you? What do you have in mind? If you're looking to study abroad, do you know that your agent can sort everything out for you? But if you yourself are not even prepared or positive about it, you might end up not even going anywhere because you don't even have plans of going there to work or either to study. And that is where your positivity comes into place. Now, what do you need to put in place when you are thinking about positivity? One, being confident. Be open. Be open to opportunities. Be open to information. Don't be too quick to assume. Always ask questions. If you can't remember this, please write it down. And I still would encourage you, please, if you've not subscribed and you're watching me right now, either you're watching me on YouTube or you're getting it from a link that someone has shared on Facebook, please go to Pure Empowerment with Yetty, like, share to your friends, family, and loved ones. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. So now let's move on to the topic I was talking about. You need to be open to opportunities. You need to be free. You need to be able to ask questions. You need to be able to, you need to have this, I want to learn, I want to know more attitude. If you have the attitude, then you'll be fine. Trust me, there's no information you want to get that you wouldn't get. I'll tell you an example. I've had a student who have actually called me. Of course, I'm a consultant. I actually oversee a region. But even though my job basically all the time doesn't necessarily mean answering phone calls, sometimes I just do that just to support people. I've had a phone call one day and somebody called me and said, hi, I'm Nigeria. I live in Dubai. I want to study abroad. Put in my application. Okay. Over the phone call, I was still trying to tell the person, okay, I need to ask you some questions. Oh, no, I don't need more questions. Just with me, I finished from biochemistry. Just give me a course, let me course. When I see such a client, this is what I do. I don't just put in any application. I don't even just send them to any agent. I don't just even signpost them to any agent. This is what I ask them. I tell them, are you in a hurry? They tell me no. Okay, if you're not in a hurry, can I speak with you for 1 minute? I mean, I'm not going to lose. It's not going to hurt my pocket, but I guess maybe I'm just a person who don't like people going to the wrong way. But sometimes I guess some people just need to go to the wrong way and they need to learn and then get back. But if you've come across me, then I say you must be lucky because I wouldn't even want you to go in the wrong way. So I will have to tell you on time. But if you're willing to listen, good to you, or good for you rather. So, and the student said, I don't think I need. I said, yeah, you do need it. You finish your biochemistry and you want me to just give you any course. The first question I asked the person, what do you want to do? Okay, I don't know what to do. Fine. If you don't know what to do, and this is also can be applicable to you. Before thinking of studying abroad or before thinking of working abroad, these are the things you need to do. What do I want to do? Why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve in maybe 4, 5 years or 10 years after I finish my course or I go for the skilled worker visa? I tell the students, you need to calm down and listen to me, right? I will not just put in any application for you or tell someone to put in an application or guide you rather on putting an application. This is what I tell people. If you don't know what to do, what is your future ambition? At least if you don't know what to do, you have plans for something. Even if you want to do cookery or you want to do farming, which people don't get me wrong, people get money from cooking. That is if you're able to put your cooking in a good standard. And I had to ask the students, I said to the students, you need to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, it's so difficult to put you in place. As a biochemistry person, I can put you in management. You finish the management and then it becomes useless for you. So this is what I tell my students. You need to know what you want. In the next 2 years, where do you want to see yourself working? Do you want to own a business or do you want to work in an organization? And when the student said, I want to own a business, I said, okay, fine. You can work in management, or if you feel marketing is where you want to grow in, Why not go to marketing? It could help you in your place of work. And then we start that conversation, and that leads the student to what they want. But I wouldn't want you to go through that stress. I think the first thing I will need you to do, if you're watching me right now, you haven't studied abroad, but you have the plans to do that. Think about it. What course did you study? What do you want to do? I mean, for yourself, as human, everybody wants to make impact. As I mentioned, not everybody will be a president, but in your own little way, you just want to pass through this world and have something said about you. Good, not bad, although bad news goes rounds faster, but try to keep a good name as well. So, what do you want to do? If you do those things in the next 2, 3 years, where do I want to find myself? Okay, I want to work in this social organization. Then that I can kind of like streamline where you want to go. So that's what I tell people. Positivity is very important. While you're being positive, be open to ask question, be open to listen. I tell you, I know it's not easy. For me, I also work on my listening skills. Not everybody have that capability to listen. There's more power if you listen more than you talk. Yeah. Some students, even over the phone, some people, when they're making inquiries, they keep blabbing. Brrr. They don't even listen to the instructions because at the point of you talking, you miss out of the opportunity. So learn to listen more and talk less. Talk when it's necessary for you to talk. Now, that's not just the only thing. Now, getting information about talking, listening, asking questions, don't forget, even if you look like a fool, don't bother. What you're actually chasing after is not just to look like the intelligent one in front of the person you're asking question from, but also being able to know if you are on the right track, if you need the right information and the rest. Now, fear needs to be taken out of your life. Please. I tell people, I tell my own students, I tell my own agents, I tell anyone who call me to make inquiries or who wants consultancy, who want to get the consultation on what they need to do. I tell them, you need to take fear out of your life. I will tell you my own personal experience. Trust me, most people are guilty of these things. And the question that might come into your mind is, why is fear part of study abroad discussion? Or why is fear talking about working abroad discussion? Trust me, 100%, fear has a long way to, it has a lot of things to do in impact. I mean, in terms of impact, it has a lot of impact in your decision. Because when you get scared of some things or making some step, you end up losing out in some things by not taking the right or appropriate action. Now, how can fear impact you? Growing up, when I mean, young, well, my parents would always, they've always taught us to be, be nice, be kind to everyone. Those people, especially those who are higher than you, just be kind to them. But while studying in the educational system back in Nigeria, there's so much fear that I personally have been through that. I'm very sure I'm not the only one, but for me, I lived past my fear because I was exposed to a lot of opportunities of leading conversations, talking to people, and that. But trust me, there's a lot of people who know me who don't even know that I can actually lead so many conversations. It's only when you see me at that point, or when you meet me face to face and have conversation with me, that you would know my personality. So you need to get close to me to know my personality. For those who are asking questions on the chat about my personality, so you need to get close to me to know my personality. So how did I overcome that fear? I'll tell you my example. Going through primary school, we are in a situation whereby you be in primary school. Maybe I remember that time when we were very young. You want to wee wee. You tell your teacher, I want to wee wee. The teacher will tell you you have to wee wee on that seat. That fear is there. You want to go out of the class to do something, and then your teacher looks at you with one kind of, I call it evil eyes, and then they beat you to stupor because you're doing things out of what other people are doing, which they don't even understand the reason why you are doing those things. So that fear built up from there. And then, but when I entered into my secondary school, the fear was still there because you can't do some certain things. Because I went to an army school, a military school, and the military school, they torture you a lot. I know this is not common in the UK or in the Western world, but trust me, if you're from the Asian place, the continent, or you're from Africa, you have that fear. So we were being tortured. Maybe you are in the class and then you just make noise. We have what we call noise makers lists. For me, I talk when I was in secondary school. Yeah, primary school, I don't talk much. I was so quiet. When I was in secondary school, in my first 3 years, I was quiet. But when I entered my senior secondary school, when I started having some particular friends, I remember we are 11 there. We work as clique. Some of them might be watching me right now. And at that period, we talk in class. But trust me, it's not rubbish talk. It's reasonable talk. Maybe talk like this person did something that is wrong. They're supposed to be corrected and something like that. And we're so much involved in the health and science club then. So it makes us talk a lot. And then sometimes we try to see that we know Avogadro's law then. So we have to talk in class. When we talk, our name is always on the list of noisemaker. And then the soldier will come to the class and flog every one of us. So that fear began to build and build and build and build. And then it followed me. I came into the university. Oh my God, don't even ask me. Now, there's a reason why I'm telling you this story. I'm trying to share my personal experience to help you overcome your fear. Sometimes you might think you don't even have fear, but actually you have that fear in you because there's some certain greater height you're supposed to go. But because of the fear, it kind of like resists you or put you backwards of reaching that goal. Now, let me continue with my story. I want you to enjoy that story. I want it to be engaging for you. And I got into the university. I finished from OAU. Oh, Great Ife. For those who are Great Ife, doesn't mean other universities are great. So please don't swallow me. I finished from Great Ife. And at the time I entered the university, great institution, have their own past history of, most beautiful campus. Now, I don't think so, but maybe one day would be. And, you know, we entered, my course was a White House courses. Anybody who knows White House, we know that White House courses are very difficult. That if you do sciences, you have to read and read and read and read and pass. I said if you don't understand the tricks. And I was among those who always sleep in the library. In fact, I don't even think I have a life set. I didn't even have a social life like that when I was in the university because I sleep in the library, but I had a more spiritual life. I was involved in most of the whole fellowship thing. I also visit people, do a lot of welfare. I did a lot of welfare when I was on campus then. So those things also helped me build my confidence because I compulsorily I have to talk to people. But at the point being in a class, I get scared of failing. I have to sleep in the library to read. I didn't even bother asking questions. That is where I started making mistakes. But because I couldn't ask questions, I spent more time in the library. I didn't even know some of the tricks. And I later found out that some of my lecturers would say, give me what I've given you. These are the things that are common in Africa. But I can assure you, why your lecturer will tell you in Nigeria or in Ghana or in Kenya and Zimbabwe that give me what I've given you, if you are able to prove extra or additional reading in your exams or your coursework, that same lecturer will give you an higher mark because they'll be very impressed with the new things, new initiative you are bringing, coupled with what they've given you. But at the time when I was studying back home in Nigeria, I never knew about all these things. I thought like I just need to pass. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to do it in the wrong way. But I'm just going to, finish myself in a whole lot of library and that's it. And that's the kind of mentality and mindset that most of us have here in back home in our home country. And I don't blame us. It's because the educational system is quite different from the Western world. Now, let me then fast forward to the Western world. Then I came into the Western world, did microbiology. The first time, I thought it was the normal, Nigerian sense now. Give me what I've given you. I carry the give me what I've given you. I carry like oh my God. You wouldn't even want to know what my first result was. It was, I can't even say it. When I had my first test and it didn't hit me like a trailer hitting somebody, I immediately went to my lecturer's office and said, you know what? With the confidence already built back on campus, don't forget, it was because I was involved in a lot of things on campus, activities on campus. That was how I built my confidence. Now, imagine you who you didn't even get involved in anything. You don't know how to hold a conversation. You can imagine how difficult it's going to be for you. And then through that confidence, I was able to meet my lecturer and she explained some things to me. And I started talking to people and asked them, how is this department like? How is this course like? What do I need to do? How do I need to pass? How do I need to make things right? And after I made that decision and started asking questions, things started changing for me. And it was as a result that I don't even understand the educational system here in the Western world at the time I was studying. I'm talking about 6 years ago. And that was like my further studies, not my BSc. My BSc was done like over 12 years ago. So this is what I'm talking about. We need to plan ourselves, be confident, ask questions, take fear out of your life. One fear can prevent you from doing your study abroad. One fear can prevent you from, or doubt can prevent you from not getting a job. Yes, I'll tell you an example of how that can be. So let me go back to my story, fast forward. I was able to build confidence. Being on campus as well, got involved in student union, that kind of like boom, brought me out into the UK system, which is what I do encourage anyone who is looking to do study abroad. I'm going to do a show on how you can tap into leadership opportunities in the UK or outside the UK or in the US or Australia because of my own personal experience and how you can quickly adapt to the system, because it's very, very important for you to understand your environment, not just only in the UK. You can be in Nigeria, you're looking to go to Ghana. Ghana is a very neighboring country, or you're in Zimbabwe, you're looking to go to around Zambia, which is not far from you, or you're from South Africa, you're going to Swaziland. You want to adapt to your new environment. Number one, take fear out of it. Number two, look at your environment. What is the trending thing in your environment? Good one, not bad one, please. What is the trending thing in your environment? What do you need to know in that environment? These things that I'm telling you, you might not see the benefit now, but later, trust me, you will come and thank me. Because I've had situations whereby students will come with Nigerian mentality, with Ghanaian mentality, with Zambian mentality. You just see them, they just come, pam, to the UK. Some of them will even come, they will not even organize accommodation, nothing. You just come in, go into the office, go into the university. I paid a lot of money for my master's, give me accommodation. Things doesn't work that way. Why? Because they're not there to come and give you accommodation, because they expect you as an adult who is a full-grown adult who is above 18 should be able to know where to get some certain information. And that now relates to the topic I talked about previously and even at the beginning of this session. There is a need for you to learn, improve your research skills, take fear out of you, know how to approach people politely, and get your information directly from them. If you can put all these things into place, trust me, the sky will be your limit. Before I finally progress, I have the last discussion I'm going to talk about, because I'll be rounding off very soon. If you are watching me, wherever you're watching me from, I want to say thank you so much for being consistent. And if you're watching me for the first time, thank you so much for joining. Whether you've joined via Facebook or you've joined via YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. I tell you, this is not going to be the last. This is not the first video either. I've had previous videos which have talked about opportunities abroad. Please go and watch them if you haven't. And if you are looking to be consistent with me, I'll say congratulations, you are the right place. And I personally, as a person who have had my own little experiences, I'm here to share experiences with you, not just mine experiences, but other people's experiences, and how we could talk one-on-one to support and help other people. And of course, if you feel you have a very pressing topic you want to talk about, it could be your own personal experience and you need solutions to it. Trust me, I'm not God. I'm not a computer that could solve all your problems, but we can both discuss it, iron it out, and talk about possible ways to get solution. So feel free to drop me a chat. You can follow me on Instagram at Ogedengbe Yetunde. Just follow me at Ogedengbe Yetunde. On Instagram, you can drop me a DM. I will check those topics and your life experiences and do a show on it, but not talk on you or mention your name, but try to bring a scenario to support you, because your experiences can also help another person. Who knows? As my experiences has helped other people and other people's experiences have helped me. You can also get in touch with me via YQ blog on Facebook. So now I don't sit on Facebook all the time. Personally, I'm a very busy person. But because of my shows, because of my own people who are dedicated to study abroad, who want opportunities, who want other people to learn, I sometimes go to the chat message and read if there are questions or reasonable questions for me to answer or to talk about in my shows. And also, you can put your questions on one of my videos, which I've done in the past, or these current videos. I'll pick them up and answer them for you. So now we've gotten to the last phase. We have about 5 minutes for me to round off. If you still have any question, please don't forget to put your question on the chat. And if you've not subscribed, come on, what are you waiting for? Do you want me to beg you? Okay, please subscribe to Pure Empowerment with Yeti. Like. If you go on the channel, you see a like, a thumbs up, like, share. Click on the share button, share to WhatsApp, Facebook, to anyone you think will need study abroad opportunities. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to this channel. And I will do another show in a couple of weeks. It could be 2 weeks time, 3 weeks time, but I will share with you. Normally I do my shows every week, but because of my tight schedule now, I have a lot of things, a lot of you know, things I have in place. I have to sort this house work. I also have lots of initiatives which are in the pipeline, so I have a lot of things happening at the same time. So please, I will not be able to do every week, but I might see something very important I want to share with you in a week's time. And just watch out for my posters, and I'll put the time, date, and link for you to join me. So let's round off. I've seen a lot of questions from my WhatsApp. I do encourage you, please don't put questions directly to me on WhatsApp or Facebook. Please put questions to me on the chat and I would answer you. Please don't put question on my personal chat, or don't put question on my Facebook for now because I'm currently live. So I'll pick this question and answer. Okay, I'm looking to work abroad, but whenever I call employers, they don't find me serious and they just cut off the call. They don't give me opportunities. Okay, fine. I don't know who this person is, but I can just talk a little about this. For that kind of person, there could be 2 or 3 major reasons why those employers don't get to you. Number one, it could be that you are not actually suitable for the role you have applied for. Number 2, you talk about the phone, you don't really talk straight. Those are the things I talked about earlier on. Now, I understand that confidence is not what some people are used to. Trust me, it doesn't cost you 2 seconds to build confidence. In fact, let me tell you the easiest trick of building confidence. You are here, you are seeing people, maybe you are seeing a high caliber people. It has happened to me before. Trust me, I'm not perfect. As I'm speaking with you now, no, I don't have fear anymore. But it used to happen to me. When I see high caliber people, I feel I don't want to say anything that will annoy them. So I just keep quiet and keep looking. But it's not like that in all cases. For me now, when I come to a new environment, I don't like talking immediately. I keep calm. I try to watch my environment just to observe the kind of people, their character, and that would guide me on how to communicate with them. That's how my own strategy is. You can use that strategy. As to just come into an environment and start blabbing and start talking, you might do that and people will feel like, come on, what's this? She's too forward or he's too forward. That's the strategy. How do you overcome fear? Look at it. Okay, you have presidents. I'm taking an example. It might not be president. It might be your lecturers. It might be your somebody who is higher than you, or maybe you feel they're higher than you. This is what you need to do. Think about it. These guys you're seeing around, they're humans, right? They have feelings, right? They won't kill you. They won't even kill you. You know, they won't kill you. Yeah, I have some messages which are actually dropping. I'll pick those questions quickly. They won't kill you. So see them as normal human beings, but be polite to them. Be polite to people. As long as you can put being polite, you're fine. And also have it in mind that everyone deserves their respect. I can tell you 100%, giving somebody a ma or a sir, uncle, auntie, grandma does not necessarily mean respect. Trust me. You can call somebody a master, uncle, auntie, professor, doctor, and still disrespect them. That is the difference between the Western world and us. I mean, in Africa, we respect, but we think that or Asia, in Africa, for instance, we think the respect is good afternoon, ma, good afternoon, madam, sir. That's not respect. It's just a title we are giving to somebody. In Asia, the respect they give is by bowing down to people. That's what we've been taught as an international, but that's necessarily not being respect. Not being respectful. You can do this to somebody from Asia and still say you're stupid. I'm sorry to use that language. It's just an example. You can still call somebody man, sir, and still tell them they are senseless. Good afternoon, ma. Sorry, ma, you are senseless. Is that respect? No. But over here, being respectful is being polite. I can be 10 years older than you. You can approach me and say, Yetunde, I like what you're doing. I like your shows. I like everything. That's very polite. You can still say, Auntie Yetunde, this your show is crazy. You're still being rude, is not respectful. So what I'm trying to point out is being respectful is not being buying down alone, but ideally being able to respect their own views, being able to be polite, and then communicate directly. So let me pick some questions here. Hello. Thank you so much for dropping your chat. Thank you for tuning in. I'll pick up this question. Thank you for also putting your chats here and not on a direct WhatsApp, Facebook. So hello, apart from limited work hours during the work while studying, can one have an extra skilled work with photography event on the side? That's a very good question, DJIC. Thank you for asking that question. I'm sure most people would not know this. Now, it depends on you. It depends on you. Now, the reason why I said this is because as a student, depending on the country you're coming to study, in the UK, you are only limited to 20 hours to work a week. Now, you still need to be consistent by checking the government website. The rules can change at any time. I'm pushing up myself to not to use the F word or freaking words. The rules can change at any time, my dear. The rules can change. But currently in the UK, it's 20 hours. Canada is different. Australia, New Zealand is different. All you need to do is check online on the website. How many hours can I work in the UK? Check the government website. You see all the information. It's 20 hours. Now, I understand that some people are business owners already in their home country before coming to study in the UK. We will not tell you to cancel your business because you're studying in the UK. No. But physically in the UK, you cannot work more than 20 hours because that's the UK government rules. You just have to follow it. But don't forget, currently we have the 2 years graduate visa. After your study, where you're limited with 20 hours, you can still work full-time after you complete your studies, or if you are in term time. Now, that doesn't stop you of volunteering for people. I can decide to say I want to do my 20 hours work as a student to get some cash to save up. And then maybe I'm in a society and I want to learn photography. I can do the photography. It's not part of your job. 20 hours you're talking about is like leaving your studies and then you're not going to classes, you're failing attendance, and then you are working just to get money, and then you left your study, which is the main and the sole purpose of coming to the UK. That is when the problem starts. So I think I'm clear, DJIC. If you feel I've not answered your question, please just put a message to prompt me and I will repeat whatever you want me to repeat. As a student, you're limited, but don't forget, if you are married, your spouse can work full time. Don't get it twisted. If you're married, your spouse can work full time. Now, I'm not telling you to go and marry if you're not ready for marriage. Because I've seen some students that when they hear if you are married, your spouse can work full time. Some of them, the person that they don't even love, they will just go and pick anybody from the streets. Even if it is stick they see on it, they'll just pick it and marry. No, please don't do that. If you see somebody that you like, you feel that, okay, it's your wife, you're married to the person can come as a dependent on you. You as a student are limited to 20 hours to work a week, while that person can work full time. In fact, if you have a child that is 17, on their card, you see it's full-time work. They can work full-time as long as they are your dependent. Well, thank you so much, Olumide, sharing this. How do I build a good rapport with my mates in class? That is a very, very good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Most of the viewers or most African and Asian students find it very difficult to have a rapport. I mentioned earlier in my initial that it's very important for students to take fear out of it. Once you can build your confidence, number one, take fear. The people you're seeing in your class are just normal human beings. They are not goats, they are not lion, they are not anaconda, and they are not dragon. They're not going to pour fire on you. They are humans like you. Building a rapport, first of all, sense your environment. The environment I am, is it a negative environment? Is it a positive environment? The people that I am with, are they international students that are also shy like me? Are they outspoken? Are they an introvert or extrovert? Know the kind of people you are going to be relating with. Once you know them, that will guide you on how to make a rapport or conversation or friendship with people. It is highly important to know your people. For instance, let me take an example. As a student, you are in a class, you're on your own. As an international student, you don't even know how the educational system works. Trust me, if you don't ask questions, you will lose, you will fail. At the end of the day, you are the one paying maybe 12,000 pounds, 10,000 or 16,000 pounds. The idea of it is you need to know how to make your communication right. You know, the main thing is approach a classmate. First of all, breathe in, breathe out. Change your mentality. They are humans, they are not dragon, they're not anaconda. Then after you do that, approach them. Observe first before doing all those things. This person likes someone who talks too much. This person doesn't like too much talk. Just goes to the point. Approach the person. Hi. Let me take an example. Let me imagine I'm speaking to you right now. Hi. My name is DJ JC Olumide. I'm new here. I'm an international student. I didn't understand the educational system well because where I've come from is different. Please, would you be able to share with me your experience of studying here in the UK? Or probably, would you be able to share with me how the educational system is? The person can say, well, I don't understand. Leave me alone. It's fine. Don't be afraid to get a no. Everybody will always get a no. As people will say the slang, at last, everybody will eat breakfast. So if you get a no from a friend, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you are wrong or the person is the best or you are the one who is dumb or that. No, that's not the case. So please do know that it's very easy for you to build a rapport. Observe your environment, take fear out of it, being confident, be direct and be polite. Don't be too direct. I'm running out of time. I'm trying to pick questions, but I'll just pick one more question and then leave because of time. I don't want the video to be too long. It's becoming extremely long. So when I mean be direct, when I mean direct, please, I'm not saying to be don't I'm not saying be direct that is too insultive because I know what I'm talking about. I've had experiences with international students who are extremely direct to the extent that they feel like it's their entitlement. Do have that mentality. If you want to go far in a new environment, don't have this entitlement character. When I mean entitlement character, I paid for my fees. They should be able to do this for me. Oh, it's a job. She should be able to do it, or it's his job. He should be able to do it because you don't even know what that person is facing at the particular time. So don't be too direct to be rude. Please, that is something that is really common. Yes, you answer well, but what if during, can I just take this last question? What if during the weekend, like weddings, etc., would it be regarded as violation? No, 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 not at all. Not at all. That's not a violation of law. Not at all. Violation of law, let's say you're getting money and then the money is coming. Trust me. Another thing, thank you for asking that question, DJ JC. We will know. The university know when students are overworking. In fact, the UK government knows. We have what we call the HRMC. When you come in as a student, you get your NI number. Your NI number is like a unique number for everyone. Even the residents have an NI number. And you give your employer the NI number. When you work, the employer will pay you. And they pay you. And these things has reflection on HRMC portal because you have an account. And we will know if you're working more than 2 hours, if you're a full-time or a part-time worker. So if you're a student, you're doing full-time, you think you are doing full-time and they are paying you through your account and through your NI, they would know. We would know. And that could cause a problem. But if you are getting your 20 hours and maybe there's a wedding and you've been asked to come and shoot a video in a wedding, come on. It's not a problem at all. It's something you can always do. I mean, people do extracurricular activities. When we mean 20 hours, it's not that we want you to spend 100 hours on book all the time. Come on, it's not possible. What the 20 hours means is that if you're working and you're being paid through your NI, it mustn't be more than 20 hours as a student. But don't forget your dependent can do as many hours that they like. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. Any more questions that will be coming in, please drop it on the chat and I'll answer them later on just to reply your questions. So I've come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're going to watch this video later on, please listen to them carefully, learn from them, drop your question at the comment section. And if you need more information about my past and previous videos, please go and check my previous videos. They are quite interesting. I've also done videos about what you need to do to apply if you're looking to study. I've done another video, of course, about job opportunities as a student, how you can get part-time opportunities. And when you finish studying, where you need to go, links. I did an example of links. I shared my screen. Those videos are all on Pure Empowerment with Yetty TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you've been able to learn all the information needed for you to have your study abroad opportunities or work abroad. So in a couple of weeks, you will be seeing me. Continue to check on my YouTube channel. Follow me on at Ogedengbe Yetunde on Instagram. If you've not followed me, don't do that. Please go to my Instagram and follow me. Once you follow me, I would answer your question directly. I might not be able to answer immediately because of my schedule, but I will try my possible best to reply you. And also, if you have your questions, you can jot them together, put them together. In my next show, just pop those questions and I will answer you very clearly and precisely. I hope you're enjoying wherever you are. And I say, good afternoon once more and goodbye wherever you are across the world. It's cold over here in the UK. I'm very sure it'll be very warm in Africa or cold in some particular area or in the Arab world. Thank you so much, my lovelies, and I hope you have a lovely Saturday. I so much love for you. Please like, share, and subscribe to Yeti Pure Empowerment with Yeti TV. Love you all and good day. Bye.